So last time on Dragon Ball Super VE, King Vegeta and Vegeta continued their training in the hyperbolic time chamber, where once again, King Vegeta ascended under his son's intense pressure and became a Super Saiyan 3. Meanwhile, Bardock, after finally being convinced by Goku and Whis, was revived and brought back to the living world, where Whis hopes to enable Bardock too to hopefully master Ultra Instinct just like his son. But before we begin, support this video and channel by leaving a like right now as you're reading this and watching till the very end for its intense conclusion. Enjoy. So our story continues after King Vegeta has just transformed into a Super Saiyan 3 after being pushed to the limit by his own son. King Vegeta, who understandably is feeling shocked, looks down at his hands, covered in ferocious lightning, as he says, "So this is what a Super Saiyan 3 is. This form, it feels incredibly powerful, but I can already feel its toll. My energy is draining fast." Meanwhile, standing in shock looking back at his father, Vegeta can't help but think of the parallels to Goku and thinks, "Father, you did it! You ceased to amaze me. 3 months into our training, and you've already become a Super Saiyan 3! It took Kakarot 7 years in the other world to do the same. This kind of progress is unprecedented! Just how much further will my father be able to go?" Eventually, however, Vegeta's shock turns to pride as he gives off a smirk at his father and continues, "Impressive, father. I guess this is the kind of talent that's to be expected from the king of the Saiyans, compared to a low-level grunt like Kakarot." King Vegeta, however, eager to continue his training, disregards his son's compliments and then looks at Vegeta and tells him, "Vegeta, listen, this form is draining my energy fast. I haven't got long to maintain this. You transform into a Super Saiyan 3 now too, and let's see how my power compares before I power down." On hearing this, there is a long, awkward silence, which leaves the king confused. "What's the hold up, son? I said hurry up! I haven't got long." At this point, Vegeta is visibly embarrassed because he never bothered to learn how to become a Super Saiyan 3, and then just mutters, Well, about that, father, I can't." But King Vegeta, who couldn't hear Vegeta's muttering, puts his hand to his ears and yells, "What? Speak up! What are you saying, Vegeta? I didn't catch that!" And Vegeta, who is now trying to hold in his embarrassment and bite his tongue as much as he can, closes his eyes to calm himself down. But King Vegeta, who is completely oblivious, continues yelling, "Vegeta! Quickly! Transform into a Super Saiyan 3 at once! We haven't got all day!" Before eventually it becomes too much for Vegeta and he screams, "For the love of God! I don't know how to become a Super Saiyan 3, father! Are you happy now?" And following this emotional outburst, King Vegeta just looks on with an extremely awkward look on his face as yet another awkward silence then goes on. But before long, King Vegeta erupts in extreme laughter saying, "What? You're joking, right? I've been alive for less than half a year, and you're saying I've already achieved a form you can't?" In a cocky face, the misinformed king then continues, "I guess it was only a matter of time before I surpassed you and Kakarot. I guess it shall be me training you now." At which point, Vegeta once again closes his eyes, but this time begins gathering up ki. Ki that no mortal could even sense. As he does this, he says confidently, "Train me? Oh father, you forget that I am no longer just another Saiyan. You forget I am a god!" And just like that, Vegeta powers up unleashing a massive amount of aura and ki in rage. Huh? This power! Why is it so intense, yet undetectable? This isn't a Super Saiyan transformation, is it? King Vegeta looks confused at what he's seeing before suddenly a wave of aura pushes him down to the ground. This can't be a Super Saiyan 3. Where is all this energy coming from? He then just stares on as Vegeta's power continues to rise, and his transformation causes even more debris and smoke to push on to the king. Eventually, the light from Vegeta transforming then becomes so bright that even the Super Saiyan 3 King Vegeta needs to close his eyes, unable to look at it. He squirms. What kind of crazy transformation is this? Eventually though, King Vegeta opens his eyes, but what he sees surprises even him. He slowly gets up, and before him he sees his son, Vegeta, draped in a mysterious red aura. He mutters, "Son?" And standing before him is a Super Saiyan God Vegeta, emotionless as he looks at the lowly Super Saiyan 3 form of his father. He coldly says to his father, "So, you still think you've surpassed me? Does it look like I need to be in that unsightly, eyebrowless form of yours? Don't make me laugh." Vegeta, what are you doing? In an instant, Vegeta then grabs the king by his throat, holding him into the air, before saying, "I don't know that form because I don't need that useless form, father. Not even Kakarot uses that anymore for the precise reason it drains so much energy for so little reward. If you hadn't forgotten, the God forms are our goal here. The power of these forms is unmatched and can be maintained for much longer than that sad excuse for a transformation you're in. Stronger, faster, and best of all, none of that ridiculous overgrown hair to get in the way." King Vegeta looks back shocked, but still is unwilling to believe his new form is useless, replying, "Nonsense! I can feel the intense power of this form. Just because you can't do it, Vegeta, doesn't mean I need to believe your lies." And with that, King Vegeta hits away Vegeta's hand from his throat and prepares to punch his son at point blank. But staring back at him is a confident and completely silent Vegeta. What a fool. And without warning, Vegeta completely dodges his father's fist and knees him in the solar plexus, causing the king to immediately fall to his knees and begin coughing up blood. Before forcefully having to power down. Vegeta then looks down at his father again, draped in his godly ki, and says, "You see, father, before a god, these mortal forms are nothing. Despite all that power, you merely appear to be moving in slow motion before my eyes." King Vegeta, still full of pride and unable to accept the truth, replies, however, No! This isn't over, Vegeta! I'm not done! But before he can even finish his sentence, he is punched to the ground viciously by his son, who cannot stand to hear another word of his insolence. In the end, from the final blow, the king is then left unconscious on the floor, next to the Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Vegeta looks down coldly, as if he knew this would be the outcome anyway, and proceeds to power down himself, before he then crouches down and says softly, "You still have a long way to go, father, but you're definitely getting closer." And with that then picks his father up and starts walking back to the time chamber to rest, at which point during the walk, King Vegeta wakes back up and asks while confused, Vegeta, what happened? With Vegeta then replying, nothing, father. You just experienced for the first time the power of a god. And with that experience, your next step will be to finally become one yourself. Meanwhile, back on the planet of Beerus, Whis, Goku and Bardock suddenly appear. And understandably, Bardock is slightly alarmed, questioning, huh? Where are we? This is Earth? Kakarot, no wonder you have multicolored hair. Look how strange the planet you grew up on is. However, Whis is then quick to correct him, saying, no, Bardock-san, this is not Earth. This is the planet of Beerus the Destroyer, the god of destruction of Universe 7. What? God of destruction? Suddenly, Bardock is overcome with shock as he continues, but Beerus the Destroyer? I remember now. The stories among the Saiyans that such a being existed, who even King Vegeta bowed down to. He was said by some to even be stronger than the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza. And you're telling me this is where he lives? Wait a minute! Why have you brought me here, you evil sorcerer? Not your tricks again! Did you just revive me to have me destroyed for your amusement? Goku, however, then calms down his father with a smile, attempting to put him at ease, saying, no, Dad, it's nothing like that. It's a long story. Beerus isn't as scary as he sounds. He wouldn't harm a fly. He's kind of a friend. Don't worry, if he tried anything on you, I'd stop him. Bardock then lets off a sigh, trusting his son's words before replying, of course, Kakarot. Only you would be dumb enough to be making friends with a god of destruction. Anyway, it's not like I've death to fear anymore. I already know what that's like. Whis, so is it Beerus or you who will be training me? I'll admit, I'm eager to master this Ultra Instinct. Whis, who is pleased with Bardock's enthusiasm, then begins, that's good to hear, Bardock-san, but as you know, Ultra Instinct is the ability to move without thinking, and that is no easy task. Even for a god, it is something that can take years, if not decades, to master. Beerus himself has not fully mastered it, though to be fair, he spends most of his time sleeping rather than training. But your son, Goku, has been able to do it in about a year, through the help of another angel though, known as Beerus. Bardock, then confused, says, what? Decades? Even just 10 years is far too long. Kakarot would have become an old man by then. So, I guess I too need to meet this Beerus guy. Another evil sorcerer. Just great. But where is he? I don't see anybody else on this silly pink planet. Whis then laughs and says, unfortunately, young Beerus is no longer an angel. Ironically, in big part because of Goku-san. But he was my younger brother, and I can replicate the exact ways he taught Goku. As for the number of years it would take, I can speed that up too. And following that, Whis then uses his staff to summon his own version of the time chamber pyramid that Beerus summoned for Goku, before then revealing, behold, Bardock-san, this is called the Pyramid of Power. Inside here, 2 years will appear as 1 day on the outside. Goku-san, when he trained with Beerus, used something similar, but Beerus' pyramid wasn't quite as powerful as this one. He was just an angel in training after all. I don't believe we'll need the full 2 years with your natural ability, Bardock-san, but with this and my personal training, I'm confident I can help you control your latent abilities, all before Beerus-sama wakes up from his nap. Following this, Whis then calls Bardock into the pyramid and says, Come Bardock-san, we can begin our training now. And so Bardock follows, but so too does Goku. However, noticing out of the corner of his eyes, Whis stops Goku saying, "No Goku-san, not you. Only 2 individuals at a time can ever enter the Pyramid of Power. Besides, I think we can agree you've had enough one-on-one time with angels. Coming alone would only hinder your father's development. Stay here, and in less than a day, we will return, and you will have a strong new fighting partner, I can promise you that." Goku, however, looks on very disappointed, saying, "Oh, what? Whis, you were the one who was helping me get a training partner, and now you're taking him away? No fair." Bardock, however, smiles and says, "Chin up, kid. I'm doing this so I can be a challenge for you. Wait for me, and I'll beat you to the ground when I'm back out. And this time, I'll be able to see." Goku smiles back, saying, "I like your confidence, Dad. Do your best. I'll be waiting on the other side." And with that, Bardock and Goku then fist bump one last time and give each other a smile. Following which, Bardock and Whis then enter the pyramid together, leaving Goku, and the door closes. Meanwhile, Goku is then once again left to his own devices and thinks in his head, now what do I do with the rest of my day? Maybe I should revive someone else. Nah, I think that's enough revivals for one series arc. Simultaneously in the Pyramid of Power, Bardock enters and is momentarily shocked as he sees nothing but white space. What the? This is where angels train? There's nothing in here. And Whis replies with a smile saying, "Bardock-san, this is another dimension, not connected to the one we came from. One where we can both unleash our full powers without risk of harming the Earth." Bardock then says, "Whatever. So what's the first step of our training, Whis? You said it shouldn't take 2 years, so let's try and get this done in 1. Whis then smiles sinisterly and says, "The first step will be seeing how well you fare against me, Bardock-san. Prepare yourself!" Huh? Leaving Bardock stunned at the angel's proposal. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Whis versus Bardock in the comments down below and let me know if you need part 9 right now, since as you know this story is completely produced and written by myself, and if you want to support my work you can do so by donating $3 to my Patreon, where not only will you get this manga but also 250 plus others to read forever for less than a cup of coffee. Links will be in the pinned comment and description for that, but if you're new to this story and want to see it from part 1, click on this playlist on the right now. Until next video, guys, cheers.